Hello, everybody. I am yet again Price McKinney, simply put. And as always, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening. Thank all of you for your support, your encouragement. Again, I'm still dealing with the basics, I guess you could say, of relationships. So that's where we are today. So we're going to dive in head first and get right to it. So I want to deal with. And I fought with this one for a minute because I remembered it. I thought about it a couple of weeks back, and then I forgot it. And then I re-remembered. Yes, re-remembered. Sometimes talking to people, becomes a trigger and helps jog my brain. And that's what happened. So today I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's just I'm tripping because we'll get into it. What is your type? That's what we're gonna deal with. A particular way, a sort, something distinguished is a type, and all of us have that a particular type of individual that we like or that we prefer, and that's fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. For you women. I've heard this a million times. I've been told you're not my type. Now, granted, I've got a skill set, things that I can do, have a conversation, pay attention, listen, those type things, whereby it kind of bypasses, what your type is. I've had that happen. Not saying that I'm the shiznit or I'm, this great grand being. I'm not saying that I'm Mr. Wonderful. I'm not saying any of that. But having a type is cool, and here's why. It's a good thing because it sets a standard, it sets a boundary, whereby, you don't allow just anybody to come into your space. You have to guard and protect that. That is what it is. I've heard women say, I like tall, dark and handsome, which is great. I have my preference. I'm not going to tell you what that is. However, here's here's where I ran into challenges with my type. For each one that I've had that was my type, I don't have them anymore. It didn't last. It didn't remain. Not because they were the wrong type. Because here's what you got to consider with the type. Most of what your type is physical. Let's just cut straight through the chase. It's physical. And if it's not physical, it's a status. All of that's great, fine, dandy, and wonderful, right? He's got to have, and I've shared this before. I remember with one of my types, I was told, I asked the question, well, if I had a six-figure income, if I had a, $200,000 or $300,000 house, and I had a degree, what would be your problem with me? And the answer was nothing. And I walked out of the room. There was nothing else left to be said. Because what that said to me is, she's got to have a man of notoriety, popularity, whatever. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just not that guy. I work for a living. I shoot nuts and bolts. I don't meet any of those qualifications and standards. Am I a smart guy? Yes. Do I have an education? No. Do I make money? Yes. Am I status? No. What I am is a man. I'm a human being. So typically your type is physical and it is status. Here's what oftentimes happens. Now, if you're the person, hear me clearly, if you're the person that you already have that, you have your type, you have the status, great for you. Don't feel bad about it. Enjoy your relationship, make it do what it does. However, for a large number of us, not everybody, but a large number of us, having our type has not worked. And here's why. And this is simple, but it's really profound. Because your type is what you want, and it may not be what you actually need. Both of those two go hand in hand. Oftentimes, what you want is based on, obviously, your personal preference and, what you want to look at. How's this person attractive to me? Blase, skip. But here's the one distinct difference when it comes to your type, which is what you want versus what you need. And most of the times, more often than not, it's how you are treated. Are you being treated based on who you are as a person or based on what they think you should be for them? And are you having to compromise who you are as a person for the sake of them, for the sake of the relationship? In times past, and I can assure you it will never happen in my life again. In times past, have what I call conformed to the image and likeness of that person, meaning everything I was doing was for them. And in the process of that, because I was not actually where I needed to fully be, I did things, made some decisions that were contradictory to who I was as a person, as Price Marcel McKinney. And many people have done that. You, in essence, you wind up losing the bulk of your identity or a large part of it trying to please somebody else. And I can assure you, folks, that never pans out good for you. Because in the end, you're living your representative. And your representative is not you. If you can't be who you are, if you can't be your normal self, in my case, I'm 3/3 retarded. Yes. I ain't got a lick of sense. Yes. All the above. Is one of my buddies so eloquently says, boy, you ignorant. EGNANT. Black, bold-faced, all caps. Ignorant. Yes, I'm all of that. If you can't deal with me being that part of me, then so be it. Because two things are going to happen. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to have fun. I'm going to live my life. Am I going to put other people in harm's way? Absolutely not. I'm not going to do that, especially not intentionally. Am I going to take advantage? Nope. Not going to do that either. But what I am going to do is I'm going to be me. I'm a work in progress, and until I, check out of here, I will forever be. I'm working on some things within myself. I'm working on, simply put, being more consistent with that, being more practical with what I put out and those type things. So I'm working on me. And in the process of that, like I said, I do have a type. I do have a particular, type of woman, kind, sort, distinguished, whatever you want to call it, that I prefer. However, with where I am in my life now at 50, you don't have to be 50 to figure this out. What should be a priority when it comes to you finding someone to be with or in a relationship, even if you're already in one? Maybe you with your type, and you're starting to see that a lot of what I need is being neglected, even with having my type. If you're in that particular, there's a decision you got to make, and that decision is what's more important: what it is that you're attracted to, or what it is that you actually need. Because your needs change as you get older. Things that suited me in my early 20s, 30s, it's not even on the table at 50. It's not even a consideration because I'm not the same guy. I've got two grown sons. How I have to parent them is different than it was obviously when they were kids. So everything about my life is different. The job that I do, it's physically demanding, takes a toll on your body. So I have to manage my time better, what I do, what I don't do. So everything about who I am now is different, because it just goes with the territory. So I said that to say, when it comes to your type, you've got to determine, especially now, what's more important. What is your priority? What's more significant for you? Is it the money? Is it the cars? Is it the materials? Is it how big the house is versus having a home, regards to what you live in? Is it the quality of time that you spend with that person? The wholesome, healthy conversations you have, versus everything else that you could talk about. That's material. That you can go by. All of that is great. I'm not saying anything is wrong with it, but what I am saying is you've got to prioritize what's important for you. And that doesn't mean you're selfish. It doesn't mean you're neglecting the other person. It doesn't mean any of that. That just means this is what I'm choosing. And this is what I need. So again, when it comes to your type, types are typically more physical in status, and what you've got to add to that equation is what should be most and more important. How are you being treated? Are your needs being met? Are you able to have a conversation with that person? Or is it, when you get ready to talk, you get they hit you with the beatbox. Here you go again. You got to consider. So again, I'm Price McKinney. Simply put, I want to thank you. This has been fun. I want to thank you for listening. Hope you got something from this. Follow me on Instagram, Price McKinney. Simply Put PM. I've got a Facebook page, Simply Put PM. Most importantly, if you have not subscribed already, go to YouTube, my YouTube channel, Price McKinney, Simply Put. And I promise you, I'm not an expert. I just know what I know, and I promise you I will see you soon. Thank you again for listening.